My favorite video game experience ever was Condemned 2, Bloodshot. It was so fun. It was so. I mean, the campaign was pretty much depressing. It was just the battery on your senses. But the online was so fun. It was so fun and so cool. Right. This is during the days of Xbox 360. So basically, you've got two teams. All right, and this game is not competitive at all. Right. It's not a competitive game. Okay. It's nothing. There's no balance. There's complete asymmetry. Okay, symmetry is when you have a red team and a blue team. Okay, and so supposedly the teams are balanced, but just because one team is red, they have an advantage. All right, I think Halo 3 had like a 67% win-loss ratio for the red team, something crazy like that. The colored red energizes people. Okay, so even when you're playing red team, blue team, just keep in mind it's not really symmetrical. This game is completely asymmetrical, right? It really embraced it. You had cops and you had crooks, okay? The cops were armed with combat shotguns or handguns, okay? And they all had a baton. The baton was great because but why would you use that? Why would you the handgun was so potent. And the crooks. I like playing as the crook more than I like playing as the cop. The crooks had an array of stupid weapons. One of the weapons was just a pipe. One of the weapons was just a pipe. Okay, you didn't have a bunch of crazy perks and all that. The craziest thing about it is you could choose to be like. You could have different masks. So my buddy, he always played as Sir Pig. That was his thing. He was like, I'm Sir Pig. That was the whole thing. He would just go around saying he was Sir Pig. It was so funny. So there's the pipe. There was something to throw. You could start off with a throwable object of some sort. It wasn't super practical. I think it might have been an explosive of some sort. And then there was the sonic device. The sonic device was so good. It wasn't even a weapon. And I'll get to why the sonic device was probably my favorite thing. And so what the crooks had to do is they had to hide the evidence, okay? They had to go somewhere on these levels, these sweeping levels, and there was this one level that was great. It was like a tunnel sewer thing. And so you had the subterranean aspect of it, and then you had this like ground aspect and this elevator, and it was just such a play. There was a lot of lighting that went into play there. Unlike in the actual campaign, there wasn't a lot of freaky deaky shit going on. It was just cops and crooks, okay? And so the cops have a scanner that will show them where the evidence is. Like it's like a proximity based thing. There's a 180-degree view. And so that's what the sonic device was good for, is you just clamp it on the wall or on the ceiling or something, and it would scramble the scanner. It would scramble the scanner. So the cool thing about this game was, even if all the crooks died, the cops only had so long to find the evidence. There were 2 boxes of evidence they had to go up and scan. It's a level of gameplay and immersion that I've seldom seen before. This must have been like 2007. 13 years ago, and I got pretty close to it with Dead Space 2. That was a lot of fun, running down the corridors and shooting your time grenade launcher thing. It was pretty cool, and the monsters on that were pretty good. Once again, asymmetrical. All right, the idea that 2 sides are going to be equal in any conflict is preposterous. There's always going to be a winning side. There's always going to be a losing side. More often than not, who's winning and who's losing is decided before the game even starts. My favorite memories from Condemned to Bloodshot. So yeah, I start off with the sonic device. I'd plant it on the wall, and then me and my buddy would find a bunch of bricks, and we'd run up to this catwalk really quickly because the cops were still like, I don't know, checking their ammo and stuff. And we just throw a bunch of bricks at them, and believe it or not, it was so fun to throw the bricks at the cops. It was so fun. This is before all this bullshit, all these fucking riots and all these people throwing Molotovs at cops. I'm not advocating hurting actual police officers, okay? This is a video game. This is a complete, like, fabrication, all right? It was so fun to throw the bricks at the cops. And more often than not, they'd fucking shoot us. So we'd be throwing shit at them up top, and they'd shoot us, and we'd have to run away. And so, like, it gets to this point, right, where the cops are just killing everyone, they're just, you know, they're just spending their own brand of justice, and you just be hiding in the sewers, and you'd see one of your buddies running past you, and there'd be a cop following them, and they'd just be with their pistol, and so you just have to wait until the violence stopped, or at least until the cops' bloodlust dropped before you fought them. A criminal with a gun was pretty much a game ender because the cops never saw it coming. They never saw it coming that a criminal would have a gun. It would just completely, like, one criminal with a gun was worth 2 or 3 cops with guns. They were just baffled by it every time. Oh, why he has a gun? And by then they die. If you get a heavy object, or maybe it was a heavy attack, and you whack one of the cops, it was like thing. So their sewer level was great. The only level better than that was the cabin level. There were 2 very, very great. Okay, there are a couple of great things about the cabin level. I can remember it almost up in the back of my head. First of all, if you got the whole team together, and this, mind you, this was 2007, 2008. It wasn't too difficult to do. If you got the whole team together, you get them to stand around this lamp. And so the lighting for the entire room was just gone. For whatever reason, the devs only made one light source. Maybe it was intentional. And so you get 2 guys holding the evidence. It's like these big ice coolers. And there's like faces or something really bad inside. It wasn't sterile at all. There's nothing sterile about this game. You get them all to stand around the light source, and then you just wait. You just wait and listen for the cops to come in. The sound design wasn't like it was nowadays, where you have to listen to every single footstep. You just wait until a cop got close. You couldn't see them, but you knew they were there. And once that happened, everyone just got their weapons out and just like a trapdoor spider, like a 4-limb trapdoor spider. Everyone hit the cops. It was so fun. My absolute favorite moment was there was this attic. And you usually didn't want to go up the attic as the criminal. You did not want to do that. The cops would just run up there and just kill people usually. So it was a bad place to be. But if you survived the initial cop onslaught, and for whatever reason, you know, you're king of the hill, you get one of your buddies to go downstairs and drop the evidence in the middle of this room. Okay, so it's a clearly lit room. You know, it's a regular looking room, right? But you can stand on top of the room, and there's like this almost like a trap door, like a hole in the ground that you can use to get to the bottom one. So we would just wait. We would just wait for one cop to go down there, scan the evidence, and we just jump on him and hit him with crowbars, and they fucking die. You know, they do that, and then just, and then, you know, one of us would get his gun. Now, it wouldn't work if the cops are smart, because all they needed to do was just have one guy cover them and shoot criminals. And some, you know, sometimes it didn't work. There was a great closet on that level. You kind of just waited in the closet for things to cool down as a criminal, because things got really ugly. There was this one level, it was like a butchery or whatever that's called, a meat farm or something, and then all these meat hooks everywhere. It was really meta just to run around and just throw the hooks, but that level wasn't fun because the game was not. It wasn't meta. There was nothing meta about the game. It was a completely individual, unique experience.